So it sounds like the main kind of like separators are that first policy whereby people thought that they could get reunited easily if they sent
Yeah.
children ahead, and then secondly, like the smugglers
Yeah.
are a big issue.
And also the situation in the country they're escaping from. You know, if mum's got elderly parents,
Yeah,
you know,
they
and can't desert
yeah.
them now,
Mm-hmm.
she'll stay until she's in a situation, you know, to leave the country. And generally, you know, men are sent first, and boys and children. I know if I was in England with my children and there was a war and I could not leave, I certainly would sell everything and send my boys to safety. It would be the first thing I would do. Our children mean the world to us.
Yeah, and we saw that in some of the stories that you guys had in your readings also. So those are real situations that people undergo, and the separation is a real thing that has to be remedied in some way. What do you think that like, how could they fix it? How could they, let's say, reconcile the differing positions? Because there are pretty, like, there's a pretty serious divide in terms of, I wouldn't say resistance to refugees necessarily, but how to classify all the people coming in, and then like what to do with it.
It's a really difficult topic, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
but I would, in general, say that this creating of labels, economic migrant, immigrant, refugee, we have to remember that there is a list of human rights. And I can pretty much say that 95% of the people that I have met in the last 6 years, whether somebody classed them as an economic migrant or an immigrant or a refugee, when I've heard their story, I've felt, oh my gosh, I would have to give them asylum because they've been through hell. I don't know where that stops, where humanity decides that their pain has not been bad enough to warrant having a safe, secure life from this point forward. I think the labels need taking off. And I think we need to see the person, the human, because the stories are horrendous, you know, from all the countries. But I think the first thing that we need to do is stop selling arms and stop letting war control the world.
Do you think
as long as the wars are continuing and the dictators are continuing to dictate and kill and not abide by human rights, the refugees are not going to stop coming.
Do you think that Turkey has a responsibility to continue to uphold their agreement with the EU?
Turkey's taken a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it hasn't done well the job that it was supposed to do. I do have a lot of respect for what they have done. It's a very difficult situation because I'm a person who tries to see both sides of the fence in every situation. But ultimately it comes down to individuals matter. It's not okay that 30% of refugees were taken care of in Turkey and 70% were not. You know,
I think they like, one of the big problems a lot of countries face, and Greece is facing right now, Turkey is certainly facing, because they don't have the best economy either, and their economy has suffered in recent years with Erdogan's policy changes and, let's say, a decline in tourism. And Greece has faced that also, in two economies that are really heavily dependent on tourism. So one of the main issues is being able to integrate people, and a big part of integrating people is finding them jobs. And a big part of finding them jobs is developing